the World Trade Center attack. I remember I only worked like 15 minutes away from that building. So I saw it. I saw the smoke. I saw it when all the cars were blocked. When you hear all of New York, you all see all the helicopters flying across New Jersey and New York. They move very fast. When it happened, George Bush appeared on the television that night and said to everyone, all Americans, go into the house of worship and prayer this Sunday and start calling on the name of God. We are at war. I said, I am impressed. America had seen a revival that week. I remember churches, I don't care if it is Catholic, Baptist, Lutheran, Assemblies of God, churches were overflowing. Everyone is at the church. I have seen cars loaded with all these able people from hospitals. They are going to go to church. I remember the lobby of our church filled with people at the wheelchair because the president said we have to go to the house of worship. I said, my Lord, I haven't seen anything like this, that the voice of the president of the country, even the invalid, are getting out of their bed to worship God. I have seen children with oxygen tank going to church because the president said, go to the house of worship this Sunday. I said, if the president of the Philippines can have this level of authority and influence, revival is easy. I was so surprised. I said, where all these disabled came from? They will worship because the president said so. Jehoshaphat said, I am calling for a national day of prayer and fasting. The Bible said everyone was there. Their wives were there. Their children were there. Their little ones were there. I can imagine mothers with their babies, they're breastfeeding, and they're listening to Jehoshaphat's prayer speech at his podium. And Jehoshaphat said, you have to fast. The mother could not complain, even though they're breastfeeding. The president said, you have to fast, and you have to fast. Because again, fasting or breakthrough. Because they knew it. Oh wait, that's wrong. Food or breakthrough. So if you want to have a breakthrough, you need to fast. If you want to have a breakthrough, you need to fast. You can't complain. You can say to your president, but you know what? I have 5 kids. Well, you know what? You still need to fast because we're going to die tomorrow. The enemy is already in the place of pruning. And get it. When you are in a place of desperation, use it to your advantage. When you are in a place of desperation, come to the Lord and allow God to move on your behalf. You know what is our problem? Prophetic and intercessors, we don't give God a chance to move on our behalf. If we are in a desperate situation, we call everyone but God. Our pastors in Hong Kong and some other countries where they are pastoring a lot of domestic helpers, I'm telling you, their cell phone, it doesn't ring non-stop. It doesn't ring non-stop. It rings non-stop. My English is messed up. It rings non-stop. You know why? So many of them are problems. Because you know what? We call our pastor. Are you the type of a person when you are desperate, you call this, Pastor? Or do you call Jesus? Who you call will determine your breakthrough. I have been pastored by so many pastors. I was in church since I was 4 years old. But I never remember being in a situation where I call the pastor when I am in trouble. I call the name of Jesus, and the pastor will only know about my victory. Plain and simple. So here is Jehoshaphat. And the enemy thought that he is too smart. The best thing that Jehoshaphat did was this. He resolved to inquire of the Lord. Everyone say, resolve to inquire of the Lord.
Resolve to inquire of the Lord.
If you are in the middle of a pressure, that need is real. Money needs are real. The sheriff is coming to give you the subpoena to get your house. You are into foreclosure. Someone is coming to get your car. Your car is about to be repossessed. When the pressure is real, instead of going into a panic attack or nervous disorder, you resolve to inquire of the Lord. Even though you have only between now and tomorrow to face the judge to explain the reason. Here is what you should do, intercessors. Lord, I only have 12 hours left. I'm going to face the judge. But I'm telling you what, I'm not going to be afraid. I am going to come to you and I will pray. I will pray and I will pray. I will resolve to inquire your face until you speak to me and you give me the solution on how to overcome this situation. You do not leave the secret place until you get clarity from God. You ask the Lord, do you want me to give up the house and rent instead? If the Lord will say no, hold on to the house. Your next goal is this. Where are we get the money? Are you going to provide? Is there enough time between 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock tomorrow when I go to the Hall of Justice to present my case? You present all of these things to God. And if God doesn't answer in the next 4 hours, and then you still have to cook, you still have to pick up your children at school, do what you have to do. Pick up your kids at school. Do your cooking. You know why? God can talk to you while you are on your way to school. God can talk to you while you are cooking. God can talk to you while you are praying. God is not limited to the secret place. But as far as you are concerned, you have committed to stay at the secret place. But, say but, the responsibility would ask you to get out of there. In that way, God is honored with your decision. People, listen to this. If you know how to honor God, God will honor you. It's not even a question if He will honor you. It's automatic to God. If you know how to honor Him, He will honor you. You don't even have to tell God, God, please honor me. No. Lord, I want to honor you. God is a better giver. God is a better reciprocator. He will exceed your expectation. He will honor you because you desire to honor Him. You see, the bullying that China is doing is only a smoke screen. You know what is a smoke screen? Pantakot lang yan. It is like a lion with no teeth. Seriously. It will only take one person to do a prayer and fasting. They will go away. I want us to read the text, the other text that we have there in 1 Kings. Let's go there. Let's go back to the front page of the slides, Sister Lenore. Go to 2 Kings chapter 3, verse 21 to 25. A very interesting story. Are we starting from verse 21 or verse 20 with that one? Project it again, please. Let's start with verse 21 of 2 Kings chapter 3. Now all the Moabites had heard that the kings have come to fight against them. I'm telling you, these Moabites, they're notorious. They're the perpetual enemy of either Israel or Judah. Now, all the Moabites had heard that the kings have come to fight against them. So every man, young and old, who could bear arms, was called up and stationed on the border. When they got up early in the morning, the sun was shining on the water. To the Moabites across the way, the water looked red. each other. Then the king of Moabite said, "Now to the plunder Moabites, attack!" Because the water looks like blood. But when the Moabites came to the camp of Israel, the Israelites rose up and fought them until they fled. And the Israelites invaded the land and slaughtered the Moabites. Death. They destroyed the towns, and each man threw a stone on every good field until it was covered. There was a battle. The king of Israel, the king of Judah invited the king of Israel, and there's another king. Let me see this. And the king of Aram to fight against the Moabites. So they position themselves because God is helping Israel. You know what God did? God created an optical illusion. There was water in the fields, and the Lord created an optical illusion that the water looks like blood. To the mind of the Moabites, the three kings killed each other. So they dared to attack. You see, where can you learn that from any military school? This is the realm of the supernatural. When you involve God in what you do, you open heavens to invade your world with the supernatural. That's why even in a situation where there is no chance of winning, suddenly it tilts towards your favor because you involve the Lord. It becomes supernatural. On a personal level, I caught myself several times that I can easily make decisions over some things. And I told the Lord, by a virtue of common sense, I can just run and make a decision without sinning against the Lord. But I told God, Lord, I have discovered your ways from the Old Testament, that every time we involve you, no matter how big or small, the supernatural will break out. So I told the Lord, I am going to involve you. This is a good story. I think that was March. I went to the nail salon. Sorry, gentlemen, we have to do our nails. I went to the nail salon. I did not know that there will be a snowstorm. You know, we have seen storm here, it's rain. In the US, when you have a snowstorm, it's snow coming. And then, a few hours later, the snow will become ice. So if you drive up the road in an icy road, it's very dangerous. I have never driven an icy road. I have never driven an icy road, even though I've been in the United States for so long. It was my first time to drive at an icy road. So I was driving, coming back from the nail salon, and I have to pass by this steep hill before I can get to my house a few miles away. And I did not realize it, that the road becomes ice already. And in front of me, there were so many cars that were colliding because they could no longer control the wheel. But because I have never drove in an icy road, I did not pick it up how dangerous it was. So I continued to drive. And since the road was going uphill like this, I stepped on the gas. The gas is what you need to step on in order for the car to run and to move. If you don't step on the gas, the car will not move. It will stay there. You need to step on the gas in order for the car to move. If you want the car to stop, you step on the brakes. That you know. So because the hill is like this, I stepped on the gas and I never thought it's already an icy road. When I stepped on the gas, the car, instead of going this way, following the pattern of the road, the car went this way. And it will not stop. And if I attempt to stop, it will start to spin. Because you lose control because of the ice. And because I have never drove in an icy road, I do not know what to do. In my nervous panic, I spoke in tongues. The Armalite tongue came out. And on a logical sense, I don't really know what to do.